Charter Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance in the San Gabriel Valley today, and we are joined by Howard Hernandez. He is the State Secretary of the American GI Forum of California, an organization which started after World War II here in California after the Korean War. And its initial mission was to aid veterans of Mexican-American descent. So the 20th century, I think it's fair to say, we were not kind to our Mexican-American soldiers. Is that fair as a generalization?
As a general statement, yes. Initially, after the Second World War, it was very difficult for Mexican-American veterans from the Second World War to receive their benefits.
And that's not to start with what happened after the First World War, where many Mexican-Americans, by the way, were repatriated back to Mexico.
That's correct.
That's a whole other conversation. And what really kind of tells the story well of the post-World War II experience is this award-winning film, The Longoria Affair, which came out of Texas, where a Mexican-American soldier had been killed in World War II and couldn't find a place, his family couldn't find a place for him to be interred.
That's correct. Well, it was not so much the internment, it was primarily they couldn't view him, they couldn't get him vetted in a mortuary.
Because?
Because the whites wouldn't like it.
No, the whites wouldn't like it.
In the city. And, you know, looking at the small town at the times, you know, there was, just a certain bias. And it was directed at Hispanics, Mexican Americans.
So let's talk about the modern era.
Modern era.
You are a veteran of Vietnam.
That's correct.
It's fair to say that Vietnam veterans of all stripes, of all ethnicities, faced challenges when they came home.
Very much so.
We in America were not necessarily kind to those veterans. Fortunately, I think our views have changed, whether the war is popular or not. But the work still needs to be done.
Yes, substantial amount of work.
And you're doing that work.
I'm making every effort to accomplish that work.
Tell us about the work that the American GI Forum of California is doing.
Well, the American GI Forum, what we do is we provide, our primary mission is to, one, ensure that all our Mexican-American veterans, and all veterans, for that fact, at this point in time, are receiving the necessary assistance they need to transition into our civil communities.
And we know, sir, and I have had the very difficult job of interviewing vets with PTSD, with TBI, traumatic brain injury. It is devastating what these men, I've not interviewed any women, but I'm sure they have experienced it as well. The men that I've interviewed with PTSD, 6'5", futures before them, and they're a shell of their former selves.
That's very true and unfortunate. You know, I've been working on this particular project prior to the time that I was at the American GI Forum as a veteran leader in the City of Commerce. I tried to make sure that our veterans were going to have everything prepared because I envisioned them returning.
Right.
I envisioned them returning en masse. And I envisioned the problems that they were going to have transitioning. I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I know what problems I had.
And let's talk about that and juxtapose it. So as a Vietnam War veteran, there was no ticker tape parade when you came home.
No.
But were you able to access benefits, or was there pushback?
You know, it was primarily a pushback from maybe some of our civilians.
Right, but but in the system, it was fine.
The system was a little bit, you know, we went to the.
It is government, but be that as it may.
Well, you know, we get back to the Veterans Hospital again.
Yeah, and of course, right now we are in a bit of a crisis.
And I'm very involved in that.
And so, do you have a sense, if I may, we're jumping around a bit, but forgive me, there's a lot of talk about
no problem.
that the veterans, the VA administration's crisis as it relates to medical delivery. Is that behind us?
You know, we're taking a couple of steps in the right direction, in the very right direction. There's going to have to be an entire assessment of the Department of Veterans Administration hospitals, particularly here in Los Angeles. Los Angeles happens to be the one county in the United States that has the largest number of veterans, bar none.
Right.
the state of California has the largest number of veterans.
But there's some good news out of the VA in West Los Angeles.
Yes,
as
yes,
you know.
yes.
That facility, a very large facility,
388 acres.
right, a settlement was reached. And as a result, that facility will be used to the benefit of veterans in a very significant way.
In a very significant way, and as a matter of fact, I'm on that Veterans Coalition. I represent the American GI Forum, and it's basically the 7 largest veterans organizations that are chartered by Congress. You've got the American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign War, Vietnam Veterans, the American GI Forum, Disabled Veterans of America, AMVETS. The other one would be...
It's okay if you don't remember the 7th. It's fine.
Jewish American Veterans.
You remembered.
And I believe that's it.
Right.
But if I missed someone, sorry.
It's fine. When a lot of veterans return, I shouldn't say a lot, when some veterans return, they also face challenges with employment and employment opportunities. It may be they haven't received an advanced degree. I believe you do need to at least have a high school degree to be a member of the military.
That's correct.
So are you working to help veterans obtain training?
Yes, as a matter of fact, that's one of the other projects. I'm the national chairman for the advisory committee, Veterans Advisory Committee to NEAT, National Education Advocacy and Training.
And let's talk about NEAT, because it sure is neat. It sure is neat. And what NEAT is doing is really inspired in that you are looking to help industries and you are looking to create the training programs that they may not be able to develop themselves.
Correct.
Explain it.
Yeah, essentially what we're doing is we're working on evaluating the veteran and evaluating his potential to transition properly. And what we do is we go out and we locate companies that may or may not have the same qualifications or duties that this individual has. We might be able to, just have some soft skills, hard skills,
right,
and make them a good match. Now, in addition to what we've done here, we're also working on a project with OJT, which...
What's OJT?
On-the-job training, which basically provides a certain portion of the benefits that the military soldiers are entitled to offset some costs for the company, in addition to tax incentives. And what we do is we try to match them up, and then we follow them. We monitor them, making sure that they are progressing, they're not having any problems,
right,
and they're getting all their issues resolved.
How has the business community responded to the efforts of NEAT? I would presume that they would be welcoming. I mean, you're providing the training, and it's not at their cost, I presume.
Right. No, well, we're providing the training. And
it's customized.
Customized training, yeah, right. But by the same token, the response has been really minimal, to say the least, because we as much as we'd like to say we're going to be able to employ everyone, we're right now in the process of establishing more or less like small communities for veterans, for providing them with transitional housing,
right,
temporary housing, information on the benefits that they're entitled to, childcare. One of the biggest things that people don't realize is that there are a substantial number of females returning from the military with dependents in tow. And these ladies, you have to focus. The military is not just men. And it hasn't been just men since a long time. As a matter of fact, there was an article today that the World War II women are trying to obtain their burial rights. I'm thinking, why didn't they retain them to begin with?
Will you come back?
Certainly.
His name is Howard Hernandez. He's the State Secretary of the American GI Forum of California. My name is Brad Pomerance. This is Charter Local Edition.